Some job examples. For environmental scientists, you could be an environmental technician, which basically means that you work outside and in a lab to do all sorts of measurements of water quality and soil quality and other types of lab measurements like that. You could work as an environmental chemist, as I kind of mentioned what an environmental chemist would do. You could be a hydrologist. You could be a restoration ecologist, which kind of is what these students in the internship program were doing. They were trying to restore the ecosystem. So that's what a restoration ecologist would do. You could work as a consultant. There's a lot of businesses that need to satisfy regulations, and so they need to know what those regulations are and how to satisfy them. And so businesses prop up to be consultants to do that, or to consult on restoring ecosystems. So there's all sorts of consulting organizations, environmental consulting organizations that have popped up that you could work at too. You could be a sustainable landscape architect. So there's a big push for permaculture, which basically creates landscape that reduces runoff and reduces the need for herbicides and insecticides, can be more organic, things like that. So that's something that you could do. You could be a climate change risk assessor. The insurance companies are very interested now in trying to figure out where risk is going to change due to climate change, because it's going to cost them a lot of money if they don't identify where the risks are. You could be a water quality chemist or a wildlife biologist. There's many other types of positions that you could be as an environmental scientist. Those are just a few examples that I want to provide to you. For environment and society, you could also be a consultant. There's many nonprofit organizations and think tank organizations, lobbyists that need information, and so you can consult to those groups. You could be an environmental educator or an environmental outreach coordinator. A lot of watershed councils in nature areas hire people to educate the public on the environmental quality or the environmental features of a natural area. You could work for nonprofit organizations doing environmental advocacy. You could be an environmental policy specialist working on policy, trying to change policy. You could work in environmental law enforcement. So park ranger would be an example of that. So those are examples of things you could do with environment and society. Sustainability is the minor. With that, you can pair up sustainability with other majors very easily. A good example of that would be the example that I can think of most readily because it's in my department, which is in geography and geology, is urban planning. If you pair up urban planning with sustainability minor, you could be a sustainable urban planner. And so that's something that's becoming more and more popular. You can be a sustainable development policy analyst, which is kind of related to that, but also political science. That would be a good pairing with the sustainability minor to be a sustainable development policy analyst. You'd be a sustainable transportation planner. That's probably more with urban and regional planning too. You could be a sustainable entrepreneur. There's lots of entrepreneurial opportunities. So you could pair up a business major with a sustainability minor. Or sustainability manager. A lot of organizations have a person that considers all of the sustainability issues for a business or a educational institution. So they hire a lot of sustainability managers. And then another thing that you could do is you could go to graduate school. So I just wanted to list off a number of graduate programs that you can enter. There's a conservation. Yes.
And this is with just like the overall major degree, not the minor, correct?
Some of these are with the minor, but you would have to pair the minor with an appropriate major to enter these graduate programs. You would definitely want to, if you're interested in something, you would want to research graduate programs and then see what the requirements are, and then that will help you decide which major and minor would be a good pairing. So some examples are conservation biology, environmental ethics, environmental history, environmental law. You'd have to go to law school for that. Environmental policy, environmental studies, environmental leadership, environmental management, environmental toxicology, forestry, renewable energy and sustainability systems, and resource management. So that's kind of a survey of related graduate programs that I've seen that would go well with the ISS program.